guys, let me share something special with you. It's called Fume, and it's a game changer. Fume is in a league of their own, and with their help, you can break up with your bad habits today. They have delicious flavors, like crisp mint and orange vanilla, but without the vapor or nicotine. This will be like your taste buds took a trip to Flavor Town, no strings attached. But this isn't just about flavor. Fume is sleek, it's stylish, and it's built to last. Plus, it's got all sorts of cool features to keep your hands busy. Magnets, snaps, clicks. It's like the ultimate stress ball. And here's the best part. Over 300,000 people are already part of the Fume fam, and you can be next. Use my code Chael and get a free Fume base when you order the Journey Pack. It's the all-new magnetic stand for your Fume device. That's right, free stuff just for joining the club. So don't wait. Head over to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com. Use the promo code Chael or scan the QR code that's on the screen to get your free Fume base today. Your taste buds will thank you, I promise. Jorge Masvidal slams Conor McGregor for avoiding him and claims he's a bigger draw than Michael Chandler. That's a headline over at Elbow right now. Can Jorge Masvidal read? Does he read? There'd be a difference, right? And I would stop right now if he in fact cannot read. But my guess is he just doesn't. But I don't know a guy that gets more things wrong than Masvidal. Like, Masvidal will come out and say, well, so-and-so said, and therefore I'm upset with him. Like, I end up in my own thing with Masvidal. Well, now I got to whip his ass over it. But I didn't want to have to whip his ass over it. I would have preferred to just explain to him that what he was told was incorrect, that he's got bad information. But then we got in too deep. And, like, there's guys that don't read. They don't go and check out the news, but they live in the orbit of MMA, so people they talk to will tell them certain things, and they can feel as though they're up to speed. They can feel like they know what's going on, even though they didn't go to bloody elbow themselves, just for example. And Masvidal has done this to me where he's given a quote. I'm upset with Chael, and here's what Chael said. And I'll hear him say it and go, no, I didn't. Like, that just simply didn't happen. And there was a period of time where I thought, well, I could just explain this. You've gotten bad information. And then there was a period of time where I was like, okay, either way, I'm going to have to whip your ass over it. I'm going to have to whip your ass, one, for saying I said it, two, for having it wrong, three, for having the reaction you had, four, for thinking that you have an opinion in the first place. Whether I said it or I didn't say it, you're going to sit there and live with it. Like, at some point, that's where George and I ended up. But he's now doing that to Conor. He's first claiming that Jorge Masvidal, is a bigger draw than Michael Chandler. Fine, I like that kind of talk. I'm okay with it. Did he forget that he retired? Like, it's one of the interesting spots. The fact that Jorge Masvidal is calling out Conor McGregor, calling for a fight with Conor McGregor, or wanting Conor to fight with him. It's like, okay, but George, you do understand that Conor McGregor is under contract with a company located in Las Vegas, Nevada, known as the Ultimate Fighting Championships. Is that true or false? Are you aware of that statement? Okay, great. Are you aware that you retired from the Ultimate Fighting Championship? Okay, great. Now, George, there is some fine print to that, which is you weren't smart enough to get out of your contract. So even though you said I retired because you didn't want to get cut, your contract is still running. Like, you can't actually go somewhere else. And that's fine. You just think that we all know that, but people don't know that. I know that because I know the business, but other people don't. They think that you're out, that you're free. They read about you. They see that you're getting ready to box Nate. They think that you're done, but you didn't do what Nate did. You didn't actually finish your contract. You were worried, coming off of yet another loss, that they weren't going to give you another fight. To save face, you retired. You later found out, they might have ran me back one more time. Ran out of money and are trying to pull it back, but you haven't disclosed that to the audience. So the audience believes you, who's out and now in the boxing world, cannot, per contractual reasons, even get a fight with Conor McGregor, who, by the way, is in a completely different weight class than you. Now, to appreciate anything that I'm saying, it's not as though you'd have to be literate or you'd have to be able to read or that you'd have to choose who you're getting your information from. You would just have to be a reasonable person that understands that Conor McGregor, part one, has business opposite Michael Chandler, to start with. Conor McGregor Part 2 actually has never really backed down from anybody, and if the story was to stop right now, except for Michael Chandler. But Part 3, Conor McGregor was never offered Jorge Masvidal. He was never offered Jorge Masvidal because Jorge Masvidal was on a losing streak. Oh, by the way, left the company and the entire time was at a different weight class. So it's an interesting spot. Like, are you trying to create headlines? If you are, more power to you. But if you were doing that, that would make me a mark, which means you somehow had a more sophisticated mindset and made me fall for it, and there's like no world where that would have happened. Or do you forget that you, to save face, believing you would not be given another fight, retired in front of the world, and only you knew that your contract was not up, and only you know that you've still got a contract running with the UFC who could stop you from doing the Moxie match opposite Nate Diaz, but you forgot to disclose that to the audience. Like, there's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing that George should be ashamed of or embarrassed about. It's just a matter of that he forgot. It appears that he forgot. He told the world he's done. And at the time that he did that, he had a secret. He knew that his contract was not expired. Not a big deal. Just the reality. So now he's acting as though he wants back in. But you don't get to come back in, and you don't get to come in against a star, and you don't get to come back into a big spot when you're the same guy who exited anyway because you thought that they want to give you a match, and you may or may not have been right at that time. And you're doing it opposite a guy from a different weight class who's injured and has business with Michael Chandler, which you would know if you took the time to read.